Okay. So I usually start almost every day or evening, but usually the morning with just listing, cataloging everything that's hip hop that I come across, and just kind of add it to this master list. I usually start with Bandcamp first. As we know, a lot of these artists here don't really get the type of shine that they deserve or the notoriety, but they also make it easier to subscribe to artists and get their releases right when they come out. So it's like I really appreciate that I get updates from artists. I'm going on tour. This is my new merch. It's my new album. I'm planning on dropping here. I'll be in the city there, and I think that is a better delivery to supporters, fans, consumers, simply because you get all your information in your inbox. And with how many artists I try to keep up with, not even keep up with, but just I guess it is keeping up with, but I think there's a different word for it. It makes it easier this way because with like platforms like Spotify or iTunes or Amazon Music or Tidal or whatever it is, the new releases can get lost in the algorithm. They can get lost in the UX design. They could not even be put out. Like when I first started doing this, I think it was like, I want to say it was like the end of middle of college, so like 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. I had a Amazon Music account because it came free with being a new student and whatnot. Amazon was different back then, and um, I used to go to their page every day, and I'd go to their new releases, and they would be putting new releases on their underground. Like you could just like literally sift similar UX as now, and you could literally just sift through it all. And I'd find so many new projects and artists I've never heard of just from doing that. And now they've changed that to where they're only promoting like major artists. The only time that is all you're gonna see when you go on there to look, and it's a bit frustrating because it's like, dang, you guys actually had it right. I was actually subscribed to y'all. They subscribed after I graduated because it was just that easy to find music. And then when I started working for Music Zoo, when I got to Oakland, or no, when I got to San Jose from college, it was really beneficial because you could like, I would just, my job was just to, bring people to the page, to the website, to the events. And so, I'd go through posting like 10 to 15 new album songs, videos a day. I was doing this all for free. It was just, I really enjoy doing this. I love digging and finding and sharing. Although lately it's been a little different. It's been a little more challenging. I guess just because like people I've been taken advantage of in the past with how easy I give up information and share it, and it's just like that's how it should be. But at the same time, there's some people making a band off of my discoveries, making some money, finding job placements that I wish I had, or which is fine. Maybe they're not for me. Maybe I'm just still creating what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's like um, I gotta secure what I'm doing a little bit and make sure that it's first for me and then it's for whoever it's for. But it's first for me because I find joy in this. I like seeing how expansive hip hop is and continues to be. I love that a lot of people, when I post on my Twitter or whatever, to let people know, like, oh, July had 655 releases. And people will be like, that's too much, that's overwhelming, or whatever they have to say, right? And that's fine. They could feel that way. But to me, it's like, no, this is really cool. There's so many pockets and communities and subgenres and just people out there, artists expressing themselves. And, it's just like picking up a book. You might relate to it, you might learn something from it, and yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Um, that we're learning and we're connecting. And let's see, I know I put this in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. And just enjoying the ride as much as you can, creating the ride. But yeah, I start here. And I'm sad that Amazon Music does not have the same. You check that because I love their magazine. They have a really cool magazine. Yeah, I think the idea of just allowing, if you have a platform, just allowing a musical platform, like in terms of like Spotify, Tidal, Audio Mac, whatever. When people go to new releases, don't show the stuff that we already know is out. All the stuff that's already hyped up, right? Like, no, all them people that submitted stuff and it came out that day or that week, like, put that, add that to the list. Don't show us stuff that we already know. And that's what I hate. It's just like the way that it's changed, from not being able to have that piff anymore, or live mixtapes, or, well, people are trying to bring live mixtapes back, but like just the freeness of music in that sense, the freeness in finding and digital sifting, digital digging. And I don't know. Eh, we know there's always an agenda, and it just becomes more and more apparent through music to me. So I'm not gonna show you guys everywhere I go to dig for my music, because then what would be the fun in showing y'all what I found? And then what's the point of what I do if anybody can do, if everybody finds it? But no, if you really want to know different places that I like to find music besides like Spotify, Bandcamp, of course, Twitter, Instagram, um, but there's a couple other places that are beneficial for me, but it really is digging. It's not like anything's handed to me. It's very rare, not rare, but I would say like not very often do artists send me their projects anymore, unless it's like months and months before or like weeks before. But I'm not getting emails from artists that are like, just release this. And I will. There are certain people that do, that are very consistent, and I appreciate them for that. But it was like a lot of artists after I kind of take a hiatus a few years ago after my mother died, and things kind of, I guess, you could say they kind of fell off. Um, and I would say that, or I just let them fall, because it was just like losing my mother, and just then losing my job shortly after. It was just like a windstorm, and then one of the people that was writing for me decided to run with the magazine layout that I had provided and said, this should just stay between us, but this is what I want to do. And then, they ran off with it. So it was just a lot going on that I was just like, kind of like, fuck this. And I'm glad I didn't say fuck this completely. I just kind of took my time and did what I had to do. Even though if I wasn't publishing articles, like I haven't published some in a long time, but I'll tell you, I have over 300 blurbs that I've written this year so far, or like I've done 5 interviews this year. I haven't published any of them, but it's just like because I'm finding a new way that feels right to me because I just feel like social media can be so draining and it's just not as easy. Like people used to be very like willing to support and you know just share and it just felt like more like a community space, but nowadays it's just all like you can just feel the energy sometimes when people are sending that evil eye your way. I know I'm protected. I always have been, no matter what I went through and continue to go through. But it sometimes I noticed what I was doing is when I first started creating my newsletter and things like that. I was creating it because I wanted to create it. I had come across all this cool music, all these cool artists, and I genuinely just wanted to share it and talk about it. And Crown Them really started as a burner account for me. Because I just kind of, in a sense, I didn't want my personal Twitter or Instagram to be bogged down by just music. I still wanted to show that other aspects of me, or that it doesn't have to be music, doesn't have to be all of me. And I was fine with it not being that, just sharing music, just having a timeline to come back to and see what new music I came across and listen to it. Similar to what I do now, except for now there's kind of a audience in a sense. Even if they don't follow me, I just know. And um, yeah, it just then I started to realize after I started get more like eyes on what I was doing with the newsletter, the digital design, and just the artists that I was upping. Um, I guess you could say it got to my head. It got to my head in the way that I changed why I was delivering things and how I was going to deliver them. Instead of having the newsletter be the dimensions I want, the style I want, I had to think about, oh, how's it gonna fit on social media? Oh, the Instagram square image. Oh, now you gotta think about the dimensions of Twitter and how to resize your graphics and or create your graphics that size so you don't have to resize them. And it just kind of like my mind got bogged down with more of like how is this gonna be presented on social media? How are you gonna represent it? Instead of just like doing what I want to do and letting it talk for itself, right? And that's what I'm trying to get back to. have some really cool projects I'm working on that I'm really excited to deliver, but I'm not in a rush like I was at first. Doing a newsletter every week, which I mean every week, and then a major one like every month. The whole print that which would could be print, right? Except for then there's like copyright with artists, um, cover art, and uh, yeah, that just wasn't a route I wanted to go in a sense because it just that aspect of it just feels like it would take away from actual creativity until I get a team, right? And I thought I had a team, and there's still people that support that were part of the team, and maybe the next people on the for the team will find me or we'll find each other when we're supposed to. Um, and yeah, so I'm just kind of getting back to the basics and doing it better this time. At first, I used to just create lists of all these, right? All these different, I wouldn't have where they were from, date release, features, prods, if they had them on there. I just, you know, let it be how it was. But now I'm trying to think about creating my own data, my own charts, my own, and of course, it's not all encompassing because I'm not able to capture every release as a single person, right? But I'm gonna tap into some new stuff every time, and been doing this since. This is the most thorough I've been. I really have been like January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Now we in August, and yeah, getting back to basics of just like the aspects of it that I enjoy. So as you see, I have just writings on writings on writings on writings on writings on writings from the year. This is just third quarter. We have quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. Just every album that I listen to, I write about how it makes me feel, think, what stood out, what didn't, if I enjoyed it, if not. Yeah, we're about to get started. I think we're going to start with this Huey verse today. Take care, y'all.